Hey there, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the second session of the Standing in Strength Summit number 2. I wanted to give you some reflection of the speakers from this morning. And honestly, the speakers from yesterday, the power speakers from yesterday, and this morning were just amazing. There's just so much power in their messages. There's so much power and like available value that they give to everyone. So when it comes to the Standing in Strength Summit, we're talking about I'm talking about those realms of strength that include networking, mentorship, leadership, entrepreneurship, health and wellness, and fitness. And all of those power speakers until now, they are encompassing all that strength inside them within those realms of strength, and they're helping other people. So that is really the biggest takeaway for me so far, that everyone that has spoken onto the summit has provided all this value. And I really do hope that you guys go back into the replays that are still on the Strong and Mighty page, like replay those sessions, because you can fast forward to the speaker that you want, or listen to the whole thing. There is so much information. Make sure you guys have a notebook, make sure you guys have your pen, and if you have to rewind, go ahead and do so, because there is so much information that is available to you all. So secondly, I know that earlier that we weren't able to hear Issa talk on the pre-recorded live. I have put that YouTube link onto the Strong and Mighty page, so you can go and listen to the conversation that I had, the interview that I had with Issa, because her message for me is very important when it comes to your mental health and reaching out when you need help. I think one of the messages that really touched me was from Debbie Debonair. She was the last power speaker from this morning session. Yeah, we went over in time a little bit, but there was so much that I wanted to have her share with you all, because it was so important to understand that, yes, suicide is not the answer. Reach out to people, because we are here. There's people to help. There's people to listen. There's resources, a ton of resources. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that. The message from Ray: dare to be great. Understand that there is so much greatness inside of you that you really have to work to get it out there and make sure that you are being awesome, pretty much. And the quick lesson from Sue Winsberry from this morning. How amazing was that? The swaying technique, even though, it's not going to help us win the lottery, but it is very important to understand our feeling and connect with our feeling, and know that our body gives us the appropriate message, the right message for us. It's really up to us if we are resisting those messages. And last but not least, my friend Heidi Donnell, her message to have a coach, be a coach, be a coach. I think that is very important, especially anyone who is struggling to build a new business, in trying to be a new person, a new entrepreneur in this business. There are people, there are resources to help you out, to bring you to your next level. So again, this connection that I'm trying to build with the Standing and Strength community, with the Strong and Mighty community, there's so many people, and I really want to continue to build. Let's continue to build this community, so we are all helping each other and making sure that we have the collective positive and helping out and being kind to one another. So my next speaker actually, again, is another person who I wanted to have live onto this Standing in Strength Summit, but people are busy. But there was she wanted to be on the live, and we pre-recorded her session because it was very important for her to share her message. And again, she's another resource for me and another resource for anyone coming up trying to learn how to be an author, but because she is an author coach. And she is mobile. She's a digital nomad, and she is moving all around the world. And so sometimes, she's on a boat doing something else. So she actually took the time, she sat down on land for a little bit of time to actually do this presentation, or sorry, not presentation, this interview with me today. So I wanted to share that with you. So her name is Dawn Bates. She will be she'll be on other summits that I am holding, but I wanted to make sure that you guys knew who she was, and she gets her message out along with the Standing in Strength message. So without further ado, I'm going to start this video.
Yeah.
And enjoy Dawn Bates. Good, be good. All right. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Standing in Strength Summit number 2. I am your host, Larnie Mulvey, and I have the next speaker up, Dawn Bates. She is not only one of my friends, but she's helped me publish my first ever book that's taken 20 years for me to write. And she pretty much kicked me in the butt to get it going, because we all know that we have a story, and I finally was able to tell my story and get it out into the world. And now a different journey has began. So again, with the Standing in Strength Summit, we're connecting you to people who are bringing value and giving access to their gifts, and letting the world know that you can ask, find out information for yourself. And if you don't want to get a hold of her now, there's always a way to get a hold of Dawn and get a hold of me, and I can connect you with any of the speakers somehow. So anyway, we're talking about the realms of strength on this summit. So networking, mentorship, leadership, health and wellness, and fitness, and I'm missing one.
Entrepreneurship.
I was like, I was like, yeah. And then I always miss one for some reason. But Dawn, please, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then, give us what your power is when it comes to the realms of strength.
Oh, well, depends on who you ask, really, I guess, and how they know me. But someone said to me recently, we were discussing something, and I was saying I've never fitted in. I've never really felt that I belonged anywhere. I never felt that I belonged in my family. I never belonged in the groups at school. I didn't really belong in the business community. I don't really belong on land, if truth be told. So my strength is just creating my life on my terms and speaking my truth. And it's quite interesting, because recently I was on a business networking event, and it was the second one of this organization, and I just thought, oh, so bored. And we were supposed to be networking because it was a networking event.
Right.
And in the 2 hours, I met 3 people, and all I found out about them was their name and where they were based. The rest of it was the host droning on, going on, and then on a bit more. And I was like, you know what, I'm done. I don't even want to be. And all I did was I said, oh, can I just ask if we're actually going to do any networking? And apparently she took offense to that and my attitude. And then there's this big, huge investigation into my attitude and my language. And I was in BBC mode, so I know that my language wasn't a thing. But I've always found that my strength has always been the one asking the questions that other people don't want to ask, or they're too uncomfortable to ask, or it's been writing the books or the articles and calling people forward and I never really noticed it before, but it's becoming more and more prominent, because I'm like, I really want your fire on my spine. I'm like, oh, okay. Because as you know, there's a flame that I publish on each of the books. Because the fire is us standing for the things that we're truly passionate about and burning the boxes of that we've been put into by society, and just saying, no, I'm going to be me, and it doesn't matter whether I fit in or not. So standing in your strength and knowing that, yeah, it can be a very lonely journey. And you are going to piss people off, and people aren't really going to like what you stand for a lot of the time. And you are going to be, you know, doing things and being someone that other people want to be. And you are going to intimidate other women, and you are going to intimidate men. You know, I've been single for 4 years, and, you know, I'm happy being by. If I ever meet someone, I meet them. If I don't, then I'm happy by myself. Do I like a snuggle and a cuddle and a kiss? Yeah, absolutely. Who doesn't? But, you know, I haven't had any of that for 4 years. But it's, you know, I've got work to do in this world. I'm just being me. And if that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. People have got to realize that being by yourself is not a bad thing.
How does that when it comes to business, when it comes to being the fire, not the fire starter, but the fire bearer, the fire carrier, you know, like how do you share that with people without burning them? You know, it's always
I don't know, I'll let you know when I find out.
But I think that's why I love connecting with you, Dawn, and I love having you here speaking with me on this summit, because we all have that fire within us. Some of it is just like a tiny little flame, but then other people, it's like so, like when I was trying to figure out what my voice was, and it like burned that fire in my throat, and now I'm able to use my voice so much more. And I feel like it's that takes that pressure, not the pressure, but it's like takes that cloak off that I've been hiding for so long. And I love that the fire is there. You know, like how do you bring
fire is in everybody?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I've got Estos Fuego. I'm Scottish fire, the Celtic fire, the Mama fire, the Sagittarian fire, the feminine fire. It's like I am fire. But I own that. And I'm not going to apologize for who I am just because I make somebody else uncomfortable. Because the thing is, it's like when someone makes you uncomfortable, it's got nothing to do with them. It's all about what it is representing for you. For example, me being outspoken and me saying what I think is like, let's take, for example, my children used to go to a really preeminent private boys' school in the UK. There are very few mothers in that playground who liked me, I can tell you. And it was because I was not there to look good. I was there to educate my children. I was there to pick them up at the end of the day and then go home or go to the rugby ground or go swimming or do whatever it was. It was my children. It wasn't for me to fit in and be accepted and rock up in Jimmy Choos with my Louboutin, whatever. And like, that doesn't impress me. If you have to show how much money you've got, it's because you're feeling insecure in who you are. If you are intimidated by a woman who stands in her power, then it's a sign that you're not standing in yours. Or if you're feel threatened by somebody who is strong, maybe it's because that person represents somebody in your family or in your life that overpowered you, or you felt a weakness. If me speaking my truth and knowing my truth intimidates you, is that because you don't know what you stand for? Is that because you've got a journey to go on to find out what you stand for? You know, you and I, we're both advocates of women because we know what it's like to have been held back. We know what it's like to have, you know, been the outsider. I mean, I was an outsider, you know. The village I grew up in, there was only about 200 people, and most of those people were related to me. not like not hi, give me 7 kind of related, but like third generation families. You know, my grandfather had 13 brothers and sisters. So did my grandparents.
Wow.
Yeah, like proper farming family. So
yeah.
like we had, you know, and then they've all gone and scattered. And so it wasn't that I didn't fit in because I was of a different ethnicity or because I was of a different, it's just because I was an opinionated little madam. And it was like, because I would ask the questions, well, why are we doing that?
Yeah.
Well, how does that work then? Okay, so and because I would be off in my little daydream all the time, you know, I was the one reading the books. I was the one going, wow. So there are all these countries in the world, and there's this international farm camp where everybody speaks a funny language. What's that language? I want to know that language. I want to speak that language. And then I'd make up my own language.
Yeah.
So it's like looking at what it is that being a strong woman. I mean, I haven't got to where I've got to in my career and achieved everything I've got in my career and I've experienced in my career, whether that's sitting on the board of a Chamber of Commerce council or regenerating communities or coaching leaders and publishing international best-selling books time and time again on subjects that most people would really rather ignore. You know,
Yeah.
My books are not easy books. And I understand that a lot of people, they don't know how to help with some of the issues that I speak about and that I write about. They're just too painful, but I'm willing to go there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm willing to say these issues need addressing.
Right.
Because if I don't, who will?
Right.
If I'm not a voice for change, who's going to be? And if I can be a voice to change, then I can inspire others to be a voice for change. And then that person can be a voice for change. And then it becomes a ripple effect. And then there are so many of us being a voice for change. But when people are intimidated by a strong person or an outspoken person or someone who stands in their truth and speaks their truth, and it makes them uncomfortable, we have to ask ourselves, why am I feeling uncomfortable?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like I went through that same stage in my life too, you know, like what was it that was holding me back, and like thinking about how I grew up and what were the things that were maybe subconsciously taught to me to stay small and don't embrace how strong I was in general. And to break out of that, I really had to own it. I had to respect I respected my culture and how I grew up, because that's just showing my respect to my parents. But like I had to show the respect to myself as well. And
yeah, you did.
Now it's like building, that I built her right here. This is who
I love that. I built her. I just love that. When you first said that to me, I was like, yes.
So now it's like, okay, how can I help the others? Like I know how you want to bring your positivity, bring your community forward. And yes, we do have to face some of those hard things, but it's the only way we can move forward.
Well, the thing is, these things that I write about, whether it's the abuse, from in an abusive marriage or abusive friendships or narcissism or bullying in schools or rape and systemic racism, these things only are there because we all allow them to be there. And when people say, oh no, I don't allow it, it's like, okay, well, let's just look at it. What are you doing to change it? If your child is bullying another child, what are you doing and how are you being that has your child be a bully? What control are you taking away from your child that has your child feel they need to bully? Or what attention are you not giving your child if your child is a bully?
Wow.
Because the thing is, it's like the children that bullied my eldest son, they were bullies because the parents were bullying them into being on the rugby team, on the tennis team, on the cricket team. They were bullying them into being the best child. The child had no fun. The child didn't have space to just be themselves. They had to be the parents, this prized toy that the parents had given birth to and created, so that the parents could brag about how successful their child was. But also the child was watching how the parents were judging the other parents that didn't have all of the labels and the snobbery and the Chelsea tractors. The children were witnessing this. The children were witnessing from the programs that the parents allowed in their home, or the conversations that, and when you see somebody staying in a job, and your children are watching you stay in a job that you're not happy in, this is what you're teaching your children, that to be bullied or to be abused in your job, or to be quiet and just shut up and stay in a job and do something you hate. This is what you're teaching your children. I mean, really, seriously, do you want your children to grow up and have the life that you're living? Or let's have a look at it. If you see a friend of yours that you know is in an abusive relationship and you're staying quiet, oh, well, it's not my place to stay. Absolutely, it's your place to stay. And it's not just you saying to the person, like your friend, it's you saying to their partner, you're out of order. If you don't stop it, I'm taking my friend out of here. This is why my friends love me, because I don't like. There was somebody that I like who was married to someone that I know. And I remember saying to this person, you are a sorry excuse as a husband.
Ooh.
I said, while you're sat there drinking and watching football and spending all your money on you looking good and all these on your motorbikes, your wife doesn't have a fridge, and your child is 6 months old, and it's in the height of summer. Why have you not bought a fridge freezer? You are a sorry excuse for a man. I was so rude. And I was so angry. I went for a walk and I came back and said, look, I apologize for speaking to you in the way I spoke to you. I didn't apologize for what I said. I apologized for the way I spoke, because everything I said was so correct and so accurate. But again, it's like you say, sometimes when we are this fire, it does burn people. But it wouldn't burn people if they didn't put the hand in the fire.
Yeah, so true. They that saying, like, don't touch. Oh gosh, if you touch the oven, it's hot. You pull it away, like that. But then some
you
people
don't stick it in further.
But you want to see how
really
hot you can put your hand in the fire.
Oh, I know. If I cut myself with this really sharp knife, it's going to hurt. Oh, I'm just going to cut myself anyway. And I get it. We don't all have the tools.
Right.
But again, it's like all these people that see the stuff that we do, and they see the stuff that I write, and they hear the things that I say. And then they become these grossly obese inspiration eaters that just want to take, and read, but they don't do anything with it. You're not going to get different sets of results if you're not investing in working with somebody. You're not going to get a different set of results unless you actually do something about it.
Yes.
And it will be painful. And you do have to go there.
Yes. So for people who feel like they're not connected with others, like, it took me a long time to connect with people. It took me a long time to connect with myself. What would be something that you can suggest or recommend or talk about to give people, even if it's a small action, like, what advice would you give someone who just in their mind they want to take that small action but they don't know
how? There's loads I could say. There really is. Well, there's loads I could say. I'm never short of a word or two. But again, it's what kind of role model do you want to be for your children or your nieces or nephew, or the people there's people watching you. There are children watching you. Like, I just had a conversation with a lady that we both know. And I asked, why are you so scared of success?
Ooh, that's, yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like, for example, I have my boys watching every move I make, every decision I take in my business. I'm like, boys, what do you reckon? Should I go with this? What do you reckon? Do you think this is a good idea? Or if I've like got a new article in a magazine, or I've been, you know, voted as one of the world's top influencers again, and my boys go, yeah, it's all right. What's next? But I remember, I mean, people think it's, you know, overnight. It's doing this 22 years. So it is easier for me because I have been that person who has invested in myself. You know, I know that if my boiler goes wrong at home where my boys are and there's no hot water, you can bet your ass I'm going to find the money to fix that boiler.
Mm-hmm.
If my children are in hospital and I need to get from A to B, but my car engine's broken, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to get that engine fixed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you have got stuff in your life that is not working, why aren't you putting yourself as valuable as a boiler or a car engine or the school trip or your mobile phone or your laptop? And this is the thing, people, just to use a really clear analogy, if your laptop is, you're investing, I don't know, $3,000-$4,000 in a laptop, maybe it's only a few $100s in a laptop. Okay. That laptop's probably going to last you anywhere from 2 to 3 years. But the $200-$300 or the $2,000-$3,000 that you invest in personal development and hiring a coach like myself, that's going to last you a lifetime.
Yes, and you reuse it over and over and over and over again.
I've sold my car, Lani, to pay for coaching and pay rent. I have gone, you know, I remember sending my children back to live with their dad for a month while I got my head together. It was the hardest month. I wanted my children back. So you're going to guarantee I was going to do the work.
Right.
I lived on rice and Tabasco for a whole month because I knew that I wanted to go and do that training course. And I knew that by doing that course, you can bet your bottom dollar I was going to get a return on investment. And you know what? That month on rice and Tabasco, I was sick of rice for a while. I've only just started eating rice again. Don't have it with Tabasco. You know. But again, it's like, what sacrifices are you prepared to make to get ahead? And that's the thing, people aren't willing to sacrifice. People aren't willing to cut back. They're not willing to make analogies. So one of the things I really, really suggest to people is find out what it is you truly want by hiring a coach and ask someone. You know, because there are people like myself. Last year, I gave away over $100,000 in coaching on my scholarship program. Okay. Because there are people that I knew that had that fire. They had that passion. They wanted to get ahead. It was like, okay, do I believe that person is going to make the most of this scholarship program? What is it that you would like to achieve? What is it? What's your investment that you've got right now that you are willing to invest?
Right.
And then if I can see that they are willing to go there, yes, I'll let them on my scholarship program. If they're not willing to go there, then no, you're not going to get you're not going to get a discounted place or a free place. I don't do free, all my writing and my books. Again, if people want to know how I've got to where I am, there are my books out there. They're only $5, $10, $20 a book. But again, people have got to buy the book, to read the book and use the book as a guide.
Yes, totally.
I'm not for everybody, and I own that.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, find out who you are and invest. Make analogies. If you're willing to invest this much in a boiler, or you're willing to invest this much in a laptop or in a holiday, or if you look at how much you spend annually on alcohol and takeaway food or processed food, if you're not willing to invest more than that on personal development, then you don't love yourself. You don't want to get better.
Oh, I love that analogy of like comparing yourself to something material versus as a person, as you as a human. So I really, really love that. And from hearing you talk, I've learned so much from you in general, but really I know that priority and the sacrifice is important. It's not the most pleasant, but but it's something that helps you grow. And I feel like that's part of that standing in strength. Part of that, it encompasses all the entrepreneurship, business, like all that leadership stuff, like all leaders aren't going to be liked by everybody.
No.
Your boss knows that she is not liked by people underneath. It's like, to be that leader, to be that, to know and own it about yourself. I feel like that for me, it opens doors, because it makes me value myself and builds my self-belief, but also it builds the community around me, and it builds my energy around me as well.
Yeah, it does.
So,
and then that's the thing, when people like yourself step up, your movement is so beautiful, getting women to own their strength in all ways. What is the point of having a strong body if you don't have a strong mind or a strong voice or a strong purpose? Like all the ladies that took part in your book, the way you led them, the networking, the community you built, the differences in their stories, reading them, it was so, I cried. No, and it wasn't because it was because they were such powerful stories that you could connect with on so many levels. And one of the things that just occurred to me is, I was running with a friend of mine in Australia when I was there. And we were saying there about how the people will invest in running and getting fit if they enter a competition. But they won't get fit without entering a competition. Because they've got a goal, they've got a target, right? They've invested money. So how do you get to where you want to be if you haven't got a goal and you haven't invested?
Ooh, that is a great, for me as a powerlifter, that's a great, people for me, like, I understand that. I have a competition coming up. I put in the work, 3-4 times a week to get to that competition. And it's like, it's coming, that goal is coming eventually, but eventually I got to step up in the platform and do it.
Absolutely. So, and it's the same with building a business.
Yeah.
If for example, I'm stepping back from social media at the moment, and I know that I want my team to up their game. That means I'm going to have to pay them more because they're going to be working more hours. That means I need to bring in either more clients or up my prices or create another product. I'm going through a rebrand at the moment, and I've got so this is how much the investment is, because again, it's seeing it as an investment. You're seeing yourself as an investment. Right. Me investing in team, me investing in rebranding, me investing in new platforms, me investing in technology. That's not a cost. I don't say how much is this going to cost me, because the costs are me being tired, me doing it all, me being a martyr, me not having time for myself. It's impacting my health. So that's a cost. The money I'm investing in these things are freeing up my time to create more content and coach more clients. But it's also a way of me investing in others so that they can create their business, they can provide for their family, they can grow their business, which means they can give jobs to other people, they can inspire more people. And so investing in yourself is investing in a community, is investing in the global consciousness, surely.
Yes. So I think the biggest takeaway for me, at least listening to you, is investing in yourself is important for growth, but it will require some sacrifice and prioritizing what is going to either, it's prioritizing your choice.
Absolutely.
And I love that. And that's why I'm so glad that you are on this summit, because people need to understand that business is not fun sometimes.
It's not.
Like, oh my God, you have your own business. That's awesome. It's like, do you understand how many, how many times
hours, the creativity.
How long I've been on, how long I've been on Canva trying to do stuff.
And the chaos.
On the camp. It's like, like I think this is great information for women, men, whoever wants to listen to this, because I think it's very valuable for education for everyone to hear. Some people like me who didn't know how to start, and I was all over the place trying to figure whatever out. But then when I finally realized what I needed to do and stop trying to make excuses for myself, oh, I can't do that. It's like jumping all in, instead of just kind of like watching on the outside. And so
that's the thing. It's like if you're in that space of, I really want to run this business, but I've got this job, I've got to pay the bills. It's kind of like almost like you're running a business, and you've got a job. Well, you're giving mixed signals out to the universe. So you either want to have a job or you want to have a business. And it's not until you go all in and work for yourself and run your business, letting go of the job, because the hours you spend on your job are wasted hours if you really want to build a business. But but I still got to pay the bills. Yeah, but with those 8 hours a day that you're investing in your job, you could be investing in looking for clients.
Yeah.
And when you consider you've got 5 days a week, 8 hours a day that you're investing in a job, if you're not picking up clients that could be paying you more than what your job is paying you, then have you really got what it takes to run a business? And this is the thing. It's like people say, oh, but it's going to cost me this much if I hire a coach. Well, use that as your sales target. Let's just say, I don't know, just for ease of numbers, that it costs you 10 grand to hire a coach. Okay. That is either 10 clients at 1,000, or it's 5 clients at 2,000. Okay. It's that break-even point. It's that target. It's that goal that calls you forward. If you've invested that, how many books do you need to sell? How many clients do you need to bring on? How many hours work is that? And it's like, it becomes a game. It's like, okay, well, if I'm investing this much and I've got to pay that by this much time, right? Okay, what's next? Get excited about it. Don't see it as a pressure or I have to. Because when you use the words, I have to do this, or I've got to do this, it's very heavy energy. If you say, oh, okay, what's possible? How do I get to do this? How do I get to play in this space? And it's again, looking at everything that's happened in your life. It's not happened to you. It's happened for you. Me being ostracized and being excluded at school and not liked by my family and not feeling like I fit in anywhere has allowed me the space to create me, because I'm not bothered whether I fit in. I'm not bothered whether people like me or not. I'm not bothered whether it doesn't bother me. I like me. I love me. Yeah. And until people learn to love themselves and invest more in themselves than they do in, like you said, hardware or impressing other people, the only person you've got to impress is yourself.
Yep. And I talk about that in some of my, the podcast guesting that I'm on. And it's like, I'm sorry, I love me.
Yeah, you're awesome. I love you.
I love me. I have one of my teammates. She's like, "Are you taking more selfies of yourself flexing?" I go, "Hell yeah."
Hell yeah. Did you not know how gorgeous I am inside and out?
But those are the kinds of messages that I want to leave in the world. There is possibility. There is the positive. Love yourself. I love that idea of just owning yourself, love yourself, put yourself at a valuable price point, like all those things. And I know that people struggle to do that. I was one of them, and I'm, there are still some parts of me I still work through, but it never ends. You continue to work with yourself, for yourself, to understand yourself. So we just got to keep going. Got to keep going.
Yeah, we have. Just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. I mean, the amount of people that have said to me that, oh, it's never going to happen. Oh, running a business is hard. It's,
they don't make books that say, hey, business is easy.
No, they don't. And this is the thing. This is it's like, we can compare ourselves to other women. We can compare ourselves to other business leaders. We can compare ourselves to so many different things. And it's like all these Insta-fake models, I call them Insta-fake. I remember having a conversation with a young woman who, oh my God, I felt so sad for her. And I felt sad that I felt sad for her. But she could not, like, I was there with my avocado, my spinach, my onions and garlic and tomatoes, crushed almonds and goji berries, like big bowl of salad for, breakfast. And I'm there having a great time. I'm loving life. And, I'm never going to be a skinny mini. I love food too much. But she was living on 3 eggs a day. Just so that 3 eggs a day, just so that she could look good in a bikini and look good on Instagram. She had 10,000 of followers. But there was nothing of substance about her. And it was really sad because she valued herself so little. She valued herself so little that she would not allow herself to eat more than 3 eggs a day. She was ill. You could tell she was by the skin. She filtered herself beyond recognition. The woman who was stood in front of me and the woman I saw on Instagram, they were poles apart.
Wow.
And it was the first real wake-up call for me, that how little women value themselves, and just how the approval of other people really matters.
So true.
And it's so sad that we as women have got to this point. So is me speaking my truth really important? Absolutely. If it makes these young girls wake up and realize that they just, woo!
Whoopsies. Hi.
The wind, I'm upside down now.
Oh.
I don't know what just happened. Hang on. Let me just, hang on. Is that better? Yay. This is the life of a digital nomad, right? You get these.
This is what I love about just having the conversation with people on the summit, because this is conversation. This is real life. This is conversation. Like I'm interviewing everyone just because I want to know. I want to know what their thoughts are, and I want to know how they contribute to the world. I want to know what their what their value in themselves, that they help to value other people as well. So
well, this is the thing. I sail around the world writing books and coaching leaders. I'm sat here, I've got palm trees all around me, I've got the Atlantic Ocean there and beautiful white sandy beaches. And I'm a farmer's daughter from Norfolk in England with 200 people in the village who was told she was only going to be a waitress or a librarian. First of all, I'd be the worst librarian you've ever had, because I'd just be like, shh, I'm reading.
Yeah.
I know all the books in the library, but I wouldn't want you to take them out, and you certainly wouldn't want you to crease the spine or fold the corner over. Yeah. There would be bookmarks on every single table. Book fascist #1 here. And to be a waitress, I'm a fantastic waitress. Absolutely, I am. But it wasn't my passion. But the thing is like me living my lifestyle, I have received a lot of haters, especially from other women, because it's like, how dare I leave my children? I said, well, I didn't leave them. They're with their dad. And if I had a penis instead of a vagina, no one would say anything, and my boys are getting to see through their mum that if you've got a dream, go and live it.
Yeah.
I'm not living 500, 600, 700 years ago where the woman stayed at home cooking the meals and having the children hanging off her apron strings. That model of parenting is so old.
Mm-hmm.
Why should I be living in the past? Why should that dictate to me how to be a mother? My children absolutely adore me. They're so proud of me. They egg me on. They tell me I'm not allowed to go home. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not allowed to go home? They're like, well, it's not your home anymore, is it?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, well, no, it's not actually. But again, how am I going to inspire them to treat women as equals and to honor women as women if I'm just staying home in an old traditional model of, you know, being there, picking up after the children and making sure the children are okay?
Old tradition, old tradition.
Yeah. And do you know how many men have said to my ex-husband, like, how cool it is that he's actually got the time, that I've actually left him to raise the boys by himself? And how many of those have said to him, and how many men have said to me, I wish my wife would bugger off and leave me to raise the kids? Because they don't get the chance to be dad. They don't get the chance to raise their children the way they want to. So we have to stand in our truth. We have to honor who we are, whether that is in business, whether that is in the family, because it's all connected, Lani.
Right.
All of it is connected. When we stand in our truth and own our fire, and we know what it is we want, we can create anything we wish to.
So agree. 100% agree. And that's why I have, you know, I built her.
I built her.
That's the
I love that. I want a big furry fleecy hoodie with I built her, but it has to be the one with the thing that has the things with the pokey hole for the thumb and the really chunky, like I like the really chunky, thick fleecy, like with the big chunky laces. I'm thinking navy blue with grey. That would be perfect. Thank you so much. Can you do that for me, please, Lani? You like, don't ask, you don't get.
Thank you. You're like, please, thank you, and I'll expect that here in like a few months.
Well, when I get to Chicago, I'll pick it up.
Well, thank you, Dawn, so much for being a guest on the Standing and Strong Summit 2. I know you were on my summit number 1, and I knew you were going to bring your fire into the summit.
Thank
and
you.
I knew that we would have conversation that not only educates the women to know that they have access, not only they have, there's people that they can ask, they just have to find out.
They have to ask.
You know, just ask. I had to do it, and it took me a little over a year to find that courage to ask, but I did it. So I know that everybody else can do it too.
Yeah, they can.
But like the last thing I wanted to ask you, Dawn, like, how do people get a hold of you if they want to know more about your services, know about your books, like all that stuff? Like, how do people get a hold of you?
Okay, well, if they go to dawnbates.com, all my books and all the books that my clients have published, including your own, all my books are on there. If they want to tap into the Preeminence magazine that I write for, MSP News Global, those columns are on my website. Podcasts are on my website. And if they want to subscribe to my mailing list at dawnbates.com/join-me, it's new. The girls are setting it all up. Honestly, I check into my website and either Jerry's done something or the girls have done something. I'm like, so yeah, it's dawnbates.com/join-me, and they can be added to the email list. So they'll get to know what events I'm speaking on. They'll get to know what offers I've got. They'll get to know when new books are coming out. But yeah, that's where they can get hold of me, dawnbates.com. Everything is there.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn, for your time today. And I am
Thank
so
you
glad.
so much for doing this, because without women like you creating things like that, then women like me don't get we don't get to serve your community as well as our own. And so thank you so much for being you and for showing up and just being the power lady who built her.
Well, thank you so much. So everybody, this is Dawn Bates. All her contact information, you can find it on the screen. I'll probably like put it on the bottom here somewhere. But anyway, I'm so glad that you are here. I'm so glad Dawn is here. I'm so glad that I am here. And you guys have a wonderful day today, and we'll stay tuned for the next speaker. Have a great one, Dawn. Thank you.
Thank you. Ciao, ciao. Enjoy the show, everybody.
Hey there, everyone. Oh my gosh. I loved that conversation I had with Dawn Bates because there was so much information on there, like putting yourself as, like making sure that you put yourself as a priority. I mean, that is something that we always sometimes forget because we get busy or we get distracted, or there's some things that either fall in front of us. Like I don't have any children to put in front of me, but like I just don't understand. I like don't want to make myself be put in the corner ever again. So, and that's why I talk about, like, I built her with Dawn. This is the person that you see now today is someone that I built. I started building her probably 20 years ago. And now that I'm in my 40s, I am really loving myself so much, 100%. And that is why we have these standing in strength. That's why I decided to do these standing in strength summits, because I want other people to build themselves. I want other people to find their vision of who they want to be. And that could be, anything that they want. And really that opportunity is there. Earlier today, Ray Ellsworth talked about, trust in yourself, trust the people around you, and especially people who are wise counsel, trust them, but make the most of every opportunity, whether it's good or bad. Make the most of the opportunity, because even bad opportunities can be a lesson, can be a opportunity for you to connect with your feeling. Like with Sue Winsberry, you're in a situation and you get that time to really understand who you are. And we built our foundation, and we understand what we stand for. We understand who we are as a person. So with the amount of opportunity out there that especially for me, like I was saying earlier, it was really, starting my entrepreneurship journey, it was really hard to find out how to do this. In my mind, I already decided that I wanted to have a business that encouraged, inspired, and made sure I empowered women. I just didn't know how. And really, I had to reach out. I had to find all these different resources out there. I had to find and ask and get a coach and ask wise counsel. Like, it was very, very important for me to understand that I needed to put myself first, because, the idea of loving yourself first allows you to love other people. That is something that is very, very important to me. So with our speakers that have been already featured on yesterday's sessions and now this morning sessions, all their contact information, including Dawn's, will be on the Strong and Mighty page, because again, the purpose of this is to build the community and to connect everyone with someone that will help you. Because, you know, Heidi talked about it earlier today. She's like, there is a coach for everybody. There is a coach for everything. And I truly believe that. I just didn't realize that there were coaches. There were like a ton of coaches. For example, Sue Winsberry. I didn't know there was an energy coach. And look, she's an energy coach. Who knew? Who knew? And I really appreciate all the power speakers that have been on so far, because that really builds that foundation of the Women's Strength Initiative. I'm going to talk about it a little bit. It will be launching tomorrow. And I really want to let you guys know exactly what the Women's Strength Initiative is. So in a nutshell, we have resources out there that include these realms of strength, the realms of strength that I love to talk about. I light up whenever there's something like, ooh, we're talking about strength, we're talking about power. Ooh, cool, cool, cool. You know, so that really includes that networking, that leadership, entrepreneurship, mentorship, health and wellness, and fitness. Those 6 realms of strength are, it's like a nutshell of greatness. It helps you build your foundation. And even all those realms, they may be surrounding the realms of strength. Those little realms, that kind of go around in a circle, they have branches too. They allow you to connect to all these resources that are available to you. I went through, like I said, I went through this, and I did not know that there were so many resources out there. And this Women's Strength Initiative is giving you access to a network of people, to ask questions about entrepreneurship, to ask questions about how to become a better leader, asking questions about how can I build my health and wellness and my fitness. So there are so many people out there, and that's what I'm loving about this Women's Strength Initiative. Although it's going to start off small, but it's a great way for me to start. And it's a great way for you, the listeners, to, you know, if you have a dream, there is a resource to help you live that dream. And with that being said, my next guest, okay, so Miss Carmel Jean-Francois. I love saying her name, just like how Crystal Richardson loves saying her name. I love saying her name too. And I met Carmel. She was on my first summit, and I met her in person. And now she's on my second summit. The message that she has is amazing, and I really want you guys to listen to her energy. And that's like another reason why I'm magnetized. Energy and energy, you know, great energy loves to be around each other. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her on here. There she is. There is my friend Carmel. How are you, my friend?
I'm so excited. I'm good. I'm really good. I'm excited to be here. I told you before that I was just waiting for you to ask me to be on this summit.
Okay, so I have to say that you almost weren't on, because I was like, what, is she on? Is she done? And I was like, you know, you're like, am I on? I'm like, are you on? And I just, yeah, you're on. You're fine.
I was like, Marnie, I just have to make sure. My sister's puppy's here, so. Yeah.
Oh. All right, Carmel, let's get started. Let's let everybody know who doesn't know you personally like I do. Tell everybody who you are, what your service is, you know, like give us some more information about you.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. So my name is Carmel Jean-Francois. I am out of the New York City area, and I am owner, founder, CEO of CFit Coaching. CFit Coaching was born out of the pandemic. It's a pandemic baby.
Isn't that mine is too? Strong and Mighty.
Yes.
And baby as well.
So many people that I'm hearing really took control over what it is that they're passionate about and what it is that they believe in, and really started their own movement during the pandemic. So in a lot of ways, it was very empowering. It was devastating what the pandemic brought to us as globally, but empowering in many ways. It forced a lot of people to get very creative. to really reach down inside themselves and say, hey, listen, you know, what can I offer while everybody is really like in despair? And so I came up with CFIT coaching. Now, my passion is fitness, Larnie, and I know you can understand and appreciate that. Yeah. That's why we're here right now, right? Yeah. So my passion is fitness, and I also love to help people. Again, Larnie, you could understand. And I know that I have something to offer, and I knew that. So as people were kind of worried, like gyms are being shut down, people don't know what they're going to do about their fitness and their health. And I felt like I was in a good space. I was like, now I have more time to really invest in my health and fitness. So what I wanted to do was grab as many people as I could and say, hey, let's do this together. And I really believe, Larnie, in the togetherness, in the support system, in doing things with friends, in doing things with a team of people who got your back, your cheerleaders. They know what you're going through because they're going through it too. And they want to see you thrive as they thrive. So it was really about holding everybody's hands and say, you know what, we can still be healthy and make it out of this as healthy as possible, maybe even healthier than ever.
Yes, I totally agree 100%, because I know this is my COVID baby here, you know, the Standing in Strength Summit, the Strong and Mighty company, you know, it's funny because I feel like we kind of started the journey almost together. You know, we like started our journey together,
and finding ourselves in the same circles. It's like, where you go again? Maybe I need to know you.
You know what I love though? The connection. You know, like how we connected. It not only brought me strength when, you know, it's like when you connect to other strong people, when you connect to the like-minded, goal-setting people that really want, you know, they want the best version of you. Like I want the best version for everyone around me as well. It builds my strength even more, you know? And it's like, how did you do that? Like, how did you end up building yourself? How did you get the idea of starting CFIT coaching during a pandemic?
Well, actually, it was actually very scary for me. I was working with my mentor, which is my cousin, and she was just like, it's time. And I kept talking about, because I'm a personal trainer, I'm used to working out with someone right next to me, seeing what they're doing, coaching them, training them, advising them right there next to me. And now all of a sudden, you want me to train online? How am I supposed to do that? As I'm sure everybody that transferred their businesses online on an online platform felt the same, I'm sure, right? So I was just like, yeah. She said, you keep talking about training in person. We can't do that anymore. She said, this is the perfect time and this is the future anyway, because Dee Dee is used to working online. This is where she has been able to create a lot of success. She works on stages, but also online. So she coached me through that and how to start that and how to get started with that. She gave me my confidence, because sometimes other people see things in you before you see it in yourself.
Very true.
She saw it. Well, she had the experience, and she knew how to take me by my hand and lead me to do that. And she saw it in me. She's like, you've got what it takes. Don't waste any more time. Get it done. Give me a date. And the date was like next week. She's like, done, let's do it. And before I knew it, I was holding my own little webinar, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. But you jump right in, right? And you get it done. I'm working with a group of women right now. And when I told them the seriousness of what my my coaching program was, she texted me and said, I am so scared, but that lets me know that I need to do it.
That's the same.
Fear. Marnie, you know, right? It's that fear. You know, you got to do it when it scares you, because you know you're going to grow.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So here's the funny thing. You know, we just got back from Crystal Richardson's Emerge Media experience, right?
Yeah.
And here I am trying to clear off some space on my computer, and I find a video of me speaking the first time ever on the Standing in Strength Summit, my first one. Oh my goodness. You could see the fear. You could see the fear in my face. You could hear it in my voice. It's like, oh my gosh, this is about the growth. This is that fear of, like we have that fear, but we either run with it, we face it, we run with it, or we let it define us.
Oh, we let it defeat us too. Defeat and define. And you know what, Larnie? I'm sure your clients, your associates, your colleagues, everybody that you come across, they appreciated that. Everybody appreciates the fact that it's not easy to get up and speak, whether our stage is virtual or whether it's a real life stage. When you mess up, they're like, okay, she's human just like me. Yet she conquered that fear. She didn't let it define her, and she didn't let it defeat her. So they know that, listen, okay, if she was able to do that, I'm able to conquer my fears as well. So that's fantastic that, you know what, you powered through. You powered through.
Here's another thing about like fear. It teaches you, some people think like fear is like, oh my God, it's going to stop me, whatever. But sometimes fear will give you that lesson of what you're capable of.
All the time. All the time. We only grow through fear. If everything is hunky-dory and we go about life, like if everything's easy, if everything was easy, Larnie, what would we learn? What would we learn? So things are hard for a reason, and things are like we fear things for a reason because of the challenge, because we're afraid, like what type of person am I going to be when I come out, when I emerge from this on the other side? Will it defeat me? Will I let it define me? We got to let the courage define us.
So here's my question for you as a new businesswoman in your CFIT. I know you do other things, but like in your CFIT coaching, what does strength, when it comes to just your inner strength, how does that intertwine in your business?
I'm going to quote a trainer that I heard say this one time. She said, you have to listen to your body. Your body will always tell you when you can power through because you can, or when you need to back up. Both are signs of strength, having that awareness.
Yes.
And having that awareness, and I'm really drilling into the group that I'm coaching through right now, mindfulness. To have the mindfulness and the awareness of what you can and cannot do, what your body can and cannot do, to have the mindfulness of everything that it is that we're putting in our mouths, everything, every little action that we're taking, and never mind fitness and nutrition only. I'm talking about the whole thing, body, mind, soul, right? Yes. What we think about ourselves, how we view ourselves in the mirror, the things we tell ourselves, how dishonest or truthful we are, or how mean or kind we are. We have to learn how to be kind to ourselves. How many times do I catch myself calling, dummy, you knew that answer. Why am I talking to myself that way? Be nice. And myself says, could you just be nice to me today? And I say, sorry. And it's for us to be kind to ourselves. It's us to know when we need to back up. I don't know if you remember Calgon, take me away.
Take me away.
It's knowing when we have to take that break and take that bubble bath or that sip of wine, no matter how many calories it is. Maybe that's what you need in that particular moment. And it's all part of it. It's all part of it. Mind, body, soul, and the physical strength. Our mindset. That's what strength means to me. And I tell everybody, I'm working with a group right now, like I mentioned, it's a 4-week. And I said, you will not get it all in 4 weeks. So get that out of your head, because society and media wants to tell you that you can accomplish these huge feats in 4 weeks. Sorry, no, it's not going to happen that way, right? Because it's just a lifelong process. I've been in fitness a long time, as have you been, Larnie. we are constantly growing, constantly learning. And as I'm changing, I'm learning about myself. And so it's something constant. But guess what? I'm having so much fun learning about me because I'm giving myself a chance to learn about me.
I'm 100% right there with you, because my fitness journey, it started off with trying to be a bodybuilder. I wanted to be a step instructor. Remember those step classes where you they're way cooler now than they were back when in the early 90s. But I wanted to almost be a step instructor. I grew up in the days of the leg warmers and stuff. And those big socks, those big scrunchy socks, you put them at the bottom. That's how I grew up. They might even be coming back, but learning about myself more every day, every minute, every second. I was on a coffee show, and I was, somebody asked me if somebody is coming back into fitness after not being in the fitness, doing the gym stuff for very long, what am I supposed to do? And I was like, well, what are you afraid of? And he was saying I feel like I'm not going to be as strong as I was back in the day. And I was like, you're not. We are different every minute, every day. 10 seconds ago, we were talking about something else that probably had changed our direction. People who are listening, something you said 10 seconds ago, maybe put that in their mind. They're like, you know what? I can do it. So we are evolving every single second, every single minute. But we have to make sure it's joyful. We have to understand
the process.
Yes, let's enjoy the process. Ray Ellsworth earlier today, make the most of every opportunity. And I 100% believe that. Whether it's good or bad, an opportunity is an opportunity to learn something.
Absolutely. I've been speaking to children classrooms recently, and today I spoke to a group of students in the 7th grade, and they're darling, right? And so they're just coming into life, and I gave them that exact speech, learning. I told them, listen, they said, well, what if my mom wants me to do one thing and I want to do another? I said, as far as careers are concerned. And I said, well, you have to weigh the options. Do you want to please you and be happy? Or do you want to please mom and dad? And no matter what you choose, find something within that decision that will make you happy. We can learn to enjoy processes even if it wasn't our first decision or choice.
Yeah.
Just find something that you like within it. You don't like to work out. You don't like to exercise. You don't like to eat healthy. You're going to find that one vegetable that does it for you. Okay. You'll find that one squat, variation of a squat that works for you, and go with it.
I interviewed Issa Kushma, Issa Amazing, to be on this. Oh my God, yeah, she's one of my faves as well. And unfortunately, people couldn't hear her, so I put her link onto the group page.
I thought it was my computer.
No, I think I did something wrong, and now I figured it out. But her interview is now on the page, which is amazing. Okay. And what she says is
She's biting my feet. Sorry, the dog is biting my feet.
She said, even though she's like, you're going to grudgingly do it anyway. I'm not changing your program. You can either find the joy in it because you're going to do it anyway.
I love it. You have to do it anyway. You have to sign up with me. You have to do what I say. She's fantastic. She's like, I love that.
She's like, I'm not going to change your program to make it easier for you. I programmed this for you because it's going to benefit you. Yeah, you're going to do it begrudgingly, but you might as well be confident and begrudgingly doing it at the same time.
And Lorna, you and I have been through that. There are things that you don't like to do when you're training and when they're putting you through that training. Oh my goodness. And I'm like, I have to do what? Like I'm a runner, and coach is like, all right, Carmel, 400 as fast as you can, like one time around the track. And the sun is beating down on the track. And I'm like, you want me to do what?
Don't even get me started on running. I think you know my story about trying to run a marathon and thinking that I'm going to just train just doing 5Ks every weekend.
That's where it starts, but then that's not it. It has to kind of get a little bit more.
Yeah,
Your guest earlier said if you stay where you are during your training, you didn't train at all. That was just exercise.
That's just exercise. And you know what? She was right.
I think that was Joe that said that. Was it?
That was Ray.
Ray said that.
Yeah,
yes.
The strength and conditioning coach. Yeah. She has a lot of wisdom. And sometimes I really wish I'd talk to her for a little bit longer, but she's busy. She's got sports that she's got to take care of. And just like you and Ray, you guys are in the trenches giving these women strength, not just physically, but mentally. What do you say to your clients? What do you say for yourself when you have those days of like, oh, I don't want to do it? What do you say to yourself to give yourself that, gotta do it. Sorry. So what do you say to yourself?
Commitment to your commitment.
Yes.
Commitment to your commitment. And I tell my clients that all the time. Have you kept your commitment to your commitment? Not to me, not to your boyfriend, not to anybody who said, you got to do better. And say, okay, I'll do better. I promise. To you. Have you kept your commitment to your commitment? And so that's what I have to tell myself, right? Because I made a commitment to these women to help them with their health and their fitness, their nutrition, their wellness. And on the days where I'm extra tired because the day was just not kind to me, maybe, and I don't feel like reaching out, I made a commitment to myself before I made a commitment to these women.
Yes.
And so I have to keep that commitment.
So true. So true. It's like it's that self-love, that self-care.
And when I'm done with it, Larnie, I feel so much better that I did it, right?
My coach said that to me the other day, and he's like, now, don't you think you feel better that you came in? Because I was like, you know what? I'm really tired. And he's like, well, you better come in. And I'm like, okay, fine. And it's really, sometimes I have to have that little bit of a, come on, Larnie, do this. But then, I do have to look with it. I have an event. I have my competition coming up. If I miss this day, does that mean, am I going to be behind? I am. I'm going to be behind on one day of training because I didn't go because I was tired.
Yeah.
I wasn't
going to regret it later. So why? Yeah.
I was just being lazy.
How about it? And darn well when you're being lazy, can I quote another trainer? I just keep saying trainers, right? Don't stop when you want to, stop when you have to. Don't miss the day when you want to, miss the day when you have to. Don't eat unnutritionally, if that's a word, when you want to. Do it when, I don't know, you're with the friends and you just kind of like, you want that one chicken wing. So I'm going to have that one chicken wing because I'm just enjoying myself right now. And this is my reward for doing good. Just don't go crazy. Just don't go crazy.
I just have to also think we also have to think about okay, so we're going to have this treat, right? But remember what's going to happen tomorrow. Remember, you got to run that 5K tomorrow, Larnie. Remember, you're in your peaking stage of training, so you're going to have to be deadlifting in the 300s tomorrow. So, do you really want that?
I've done it. I've done it where I ate too much or the wrong things the night before a competition or even the night before training. And as it's happening, I know things are just going south. Like, this is not going to be good. And then okay, well, I'll just deal with it, right? So I get up and like a champion, I get up and I say, I'm going to go work out anyway. And it's the most miserable time. And I say, I have to remember this the next time those chicken wings and that pizza and the wine is calling my name because they call my name. They know me by name, Larnie. Why?
Because why? Because we've said it to ourselves, like, I love that chicken wing. And then the universe goes, here.
Yeah. Larnie, a part of me is like, I work out. I can have that chicken wing.
I need the 2,200 calories a day. Sorry, I need the.
That's right.
So Carmel, let us know, like, okay, what I know you just published in a book, Women of Color Boss Up. Yes. I almost said the Asian one, and I was like, the Women of Color Boss Up. When does that come out?
That we are expecting that in July, but it is in pre. I have it on pre-sale on my website. So
which
people, yes, on pre-sale. So they order it, and when it comes to me, I autograph it and ship it off. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that because just a few more weeks before we get it. And I was so excited to be a part of this. At first, I was really like, do I want to be a part of it? And then when I met the women that are part of this book and the powerhouses that they are, I was just like, these are the people, these are the women that I get to be amongst. These are the women that I get to call myself, like, these are my colleagues. It was exciting. It was exciting.
How awesome is that? And again, there's that connection. There's that connection, you know, there's that resource to connect you with other strong people. You know, it's
boy, these women are strong.
Oh gosh, the strength of when I think about these realms of strength and these connections and everything, it just continues to build the collective of the positivity, builds that amazing community, builds all that. I just think it's amazing. It's amazing. So what's coming up for you? What's coming up? What's coming down the pipeline? You have this book coming out. What's going on? I just saw you posted another challenge. What's going on?
I'm always putting out challenges, Larnie. And it's funny because I was telling somebody the other day that my challenges are based on what I want to work on for myself, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I need more yoga and stretching and mobility in my life. Let me put out a challenge. You know? So now it holds me accountable, right? Now I have to do what I said that I need to do. And I also, again, that support. I say, hey, everybody, let's do this together. I need to improve on my strength and my stretch and my mobility. So listen, let's do it together. So for the month of July, I have a yoga, mobility, and movement challenge that I'm doing on my workout platform. Now everybody can find that on my website. I'm offering this for free just because this is something that I want to really do. And I'm just kind of like inviting friends. Come on, do it with me. I don't want to be in pain by myself, right? I'm going to be doing it in the morning. It's going to be about 15 to 20 minutes. And anybody who registers on my site for free, they'll be able to do it even on demand. So even if they don't meet me at 6:30 in the morning when I'm doing it, they could just pop it. They could just click the button whenever they're ready to do it, and they could do it. So that's one thing. And I also hold my CFIT courses or support communities. And I'm always recruiting women. I don't usually work with more than 8 to 10 women at a time so that I can give everybody individual support, individual feedback when it comes to their health and nutrition and fitness, etc. So I have that. Like you said, I'm very excited about my book that's coming, International Women of Color Who Boss Up. And it's women of all color. And we're just how they bossed up and really taken the reins of whatever it is that they're passionate in, what they believe in, and also what they've studied. We have doctors in the book. We have also fitness and wellness. We have in every realm, in every aspect of professional industries. So it's things that I'm doing. I'm on virtual stages at so many places, and I just really want to get myself out there, get my message across. And have a good time while I'm doing it, Larnie.
Isn't this fun? Like, honest, I know, right? I'm just like, this is so much fun for me to interview everyone and let everyone talk about themselves. And I just think that's why I love this summit. And, you know, I have my Standing in Strength Summit, number 3. I decided I was going to do one in October. And so now I'm just like, I want to get like as many people to connect again. Let's continue to do this. So with all your connections right now, I think that that strength to have those connections is part of business, that networking. Your book is part of networking. What you're doing to help other women to build their strength, that's part of networking. And I think that is amazing. That is
Yes.
amazing.
And I think what you're doing is amazing too.
Thank
It's
you,
amazing.
Carmel.
I don't know how you do it, but I told you every time you do something, I'm like, what's Larnie up to? Start taking down notes. I'm gonna be ringing you. Hey Larnie, how'd you do that?
I know we talked about that before.
Since the beginning, Larnie, I'm like, what's she doing? I'm doing it too.
We are going to go places, Carmel. You know that. We are totally going places.
Larnie, don't you dare go any place without me.
That's
I won't go anywhere without you.
Well, Carmel, thank you so much for hopping on the Standing in Strength Summit too. You know that you are always a welcome guest on my summits, you know, to come on and make sure we always try to share this message, this amazing message of building strength. So I'm so glad that you're on.
I really loved being on, and I always have such a good time with you.
We always kind of laugh and joke and stuff, but you know what? Laughing is part of our health and wellness. So,
oh yes, 158%.
All right, Carmel. So everybody who will want to get a hold of Carmel, all of her contact information will be on the Strong in Mind her speaker tile. So if you want to know more information about her, that will be on there. Please connect with her because I love her program, but also I just love her as a person in general. So you saw how much of a good time she and I would have. Imagine if she was your coach.
I try to keep it fun.
She may make you do like 20 push-ups, but that's okay.
Yeah, push-ups are fun. We'll just train our brain to know that push-ups are fun. cfitcoaching.com, cfitcoaching.com, all one word, real easy. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Carmel, and I'm pretty sure we will connect soon.
Oh yeah, no question, like tomorrow.
I know, right? All right, I will talk to you later. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Oh my gosh, you guys, don't you just love this energy? I love the energy of the summit, this positivity, this community, this strength. It's just definitely something that is amazing to have. I've been saying amazing a lot, but you know what? That's a great word, and I'm going to keep going with it. So my next guest is Priscilla Garcia. She is, to me, she is my Instagram guru. Like she definitely helps me. I went through a course with her live on Instagram and I learned so much. And I asked her to be on the Standing in Strength Summit because she helps build women's Instagrams and builds companies' Instagrams and stuff to be successful. And the way she does it is so patient and so clean and crisp and clear. I love it. So I'm going to bring her on here. There she is with her longer hair.
Yeah.
So you guys, this is Priscilla Garcia. If you guys haven't followed her on Instagram at tech.lingo, right? Tech.lingo, to learn how to build reels, how to build lives, all that stuff, you guys need to follow her because she does it so easy. And, you know, like you can go back and watch her videos and just, you know, build yourself, build your business. Like if you're using Instagram as a business, build your business, right? So Priscilla, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Thank you so much for having me on. My name is Priscilla, everyone, and I teach entrepreneur women and men how to build up their Instagram for their community. So the main importance for me is give as much information of specifically what is it that you do, make sure it's clear, make sure it's clean, and make sure that you are solving problems because you are the guide for your community. And in order for your community to trust you is, you know, like you're answering other questions, all that good stuff. But I am pretty patient, and if I see someone struggling or if I just feel like out of my heart that
like, hey, you know, like, let's meet, let's talk, let's help you build that page better, you know, because I mean, you could always delete something and recreate it, so
Mm.
it's not scary to do.
So Priscilla, what got you into this? What direction, you know, like what got you into helping women and men like build an Instagram that looked awesome?
So long story short, so I'm a licensed barber and cosmetologist, and I had to stop cutting. I had a daughter. I didn't have no one to take care of her. I lived in San
Mm.
Francisco, and I'm like, hey, like shit just got real. I can't afford I can't afford to pay my rent, which was like really expensive. So I told my mom, I'm like, you know, like who doesn't want their kids back in the nest? I'm like, Mom, Dad, like, you know, we're thinking about moving back, and they were like, yes, move back. And I was like, oh, I don't want to though. And then I'm like, I just didn't want to. So my fiance was like, I want to live in the country. I'm from San Francisco. And I'm like, yeah, you're a city ass boy. Like we need, maybe you do need some country. So we went, and I kind of like, it's like a restart button for me. And it was kind of like everything that I had, it's like I didn't have it anymore. I didn't have a job. I was broke. And I was thinking, okay, let's click. Like, what do I need to do to make some money, but in my house? So, as we all do, Google is our master. How do you get a job working from home? I don't have a degree. I don't have anything else but besides my barbering license, and you got to be
Mm.
there to do that. So I'm like, okay, let's think. So then 2 3 years later, I found Kathy Heller, and I used her program. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I can do this. I'm gonna do it. Already on my second child, dealing with like postpartum depression, but pushing it on the side. Like, I got this shit. Don't bug
Yeah,
me. So
yeah.
it was really real. And then I was listening to podcasting, and I was like, I didn't even know what was a podcast. So Kathy Heller started like building my brain with like good seeds, and I'm like, okay, oh wow, she has a like a live summit thing going on. So I went to it for a whole week. I begged my fiance, because he was the one making the income. I'm like, hey man, like, can I do this? Like, but we don't got the money, you know, like, can I really do this? We got payment plans. He was like, okay, we'll do this. So I pretty much connected with so many like amazing women, and like a little similar, like everyone was struggling, everyone was trying to make something out of nothing, whatever. Like if you're fucking gonna make a blanket, they made
Mhm.
something and they sold it. Or then I thought what I had learned from there is either you teach something, either you make something, or you gather people together and you make money like that. So what I
Huh.
chose, yeah. So what I chose was to either I made logos. That's how I started making money in the program. And I made them really fast because I have always been really creative with hair, with my hands, building things, helping my dad with like engines or like building houses or chopping wood. You know, I'm good with my hands. I could
Mhm,
work
mhm.
fast. So I created logos, and then I'm like, I made videos. Like that was like in my blood. Like
Yeah.
videos was easy. So I'm like, okay, people were telling me, you're good at this and you're good at that. So I thought, hey, duh, like I can make something out of this. So then I got together with my group of girls, and I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to teach you about Instagram. Like I had Instagram since it was born as a personal page. And I'm like, dude, this is easy piece of cake. So then I started doing research and research and research, attending Canva classes,
Mm.
attending Instagram classes, whatever I could get my hands on, I'm there. YouTube, everything. So then I'm like, wow, like I'm seeing so many business women that I'm in that community now. So these
Mhm.
women that I had, they built my freaking business. And
Wow.
that's when I made the course, the mini course that you had got. So all my ladies built that. Those are real problems that I was solving. So I was thinking all of that, I don't need a page for a website. All of that is made in Canva. The website is made in Canva. I recorded it, put it inside of YouTube, as a unlisted. That's it. So
Wow.
yeah. So you
That is
can't say, yeah, you can't say you can't get a job, you can't make money. Like there's so many ways to make money. Like I'm just like my dad had raised me to always give back to anyone who needs help. That you see them that they need help, you give them a haircut and you give them product. You make them feel special. So I'm like, hey, okay, I could do that. That's easy. So it's always like my second like language. I just have to do it. And
You know,
if I
being
see,
kind is free.
oh, go
Being
ahead.
kind is free. Helping people is like, you know, if it's something you see people who need help, it should be like, you know, being kind is free. You know, like
Exactly.
saying hello is free. Acknowledging people is free. Just saying like, hey.
Yeah.
So like with what you are building for yourself at the moment, you know, like how long did you say you've been doing this?
So the Tech Lingo, I started that in, it was like, what was that? Like, okay, so December, I had like my community. So like a month before December last year.
So
Yeah.
this is a COVID baby for you too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like Jacaro and I were talking about this yesterday. We're like, you know, everyone's got like their COVID babies, you know, their podcasts and stuff. So this one is one for you too. Wow. The way you teach it, and you know, like I learned about you through Jakara Davis as well. And again, there's that connection. Like you said, you went to Kathy Heller's class and you connected with all these people, and now you're connecting with other people as well, because now
Yeah.
you're a resource. You know,
Yeah.
it's amazing that to find that. For me, not knowing, I just started using Instagram last year.
Okay.
And that's why I'm just like, Priscilla, what am I doing here? You know,
Yeah.
I just started like really using it. And the way your programs are set up and your message to build people's, you know, to help them build their Instagram as part of their business, I think is such a cool way to help people.
Thank
You
you.
know,
Yeah.
it's a really cool way to help people. And what is it that like what are the challenges that you have gone through to like really understand like this is what you want to do? Like did you almost talk yourself out of doing this, or was this something that you really wanted to do?
It's just something that I felt like was really easy for me to create and to make it funner, especially because we're all busy as people. That's why I thought courses for me was the way to go, because I'm a mom of two. Like, it's crazy. And you're just moving so much. And I'm like, okay, if I can create that in a video form, they can pause, take notes, pause it at the same time, because a lot of the time I always hear from many people is that the way I educate on Instagram is too fast. And when I hear that, for me it's good, because the secret and the goal is if you can get your education videos really quickly, that means someone's going to replay it to try to get the notes. So on Instagram, they're going to give you more points for that. But it's also going to leverage people to give you more trust. And obviously, the mini course is slow. It's like me and you are talking. So they will get the good goods over there. But if they want, they can still get it for free. You know, nothing's wrong with that. If they can't afford to get the course, they could always take notes and all that. But I'm still going to get something out of that. And they're going to still get something out of that too.
I love that. It's like that you're still doing that, helping someone who needs it, you know, that you know, there are people out there who are learning that you know, like you know the algorithms and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't know that, you know. And when you put like a little piece of a nugget like that on your Instagram, I'm just like, let me send her a message. Let me send her let me send her a quick message.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's amazing. Like that is definitely helping build the confidence in people. Because for me, like you know, if I hadn't honestly, if I hadn't taken like your Quick Live, the courses that you offer, I think I would be struggling still with
Oh,
Instagram. Like, what is this little paper airplane thing? What do I do with it?
thank you.
So like when you have clients that are struggling with, trying to figure it out, what kind of uplifting, encouraging word, like what message do you like to give them?
I say, let's get on a call right now. If it's a friend that I see they need help, if it's a client, we're getting on a call and I'm going to be patient with you and I'm going to break it down. And I'm going to do research, do whatever I can. Be like, let me see your screen right now. Let me see your screen. What are you looking at? Show me, point it to me, and I'm going to tell you what button are you doing wrong, what you need to do. But most of the cases, a lot of people are overwhelmed with Instagram or trying to create a reel. Like, it's just too much, but it's not that hard because I will teach it to you in a simple, let's tie your shoe step. So I just want it to be easy, crystal clear, and to make sure that they're not going to be like that other little negative thought in the mind saying like, oh yeah, this is stupid, like let's just not do this anymore. Like, no, we want to turn that off and you're going to do it.
I love that you said that. Like, I love that you said, let's turn this off. Let's turn that negative off, because it's so easy. It's like easy for us to fall into, I don't know I can't remember who I was talking to, but it's so easy to fall into that trap, into that wormhole of like negativity. And then it's like, oh my gosh, you're like sinking in there and you can't get yourself out. And to turn that off is hard. It's really hard.
Sometimes it is hard, but the way when I get there, to me, it's like taking a backward step, and how I get out of that backward step, I think of, and I told this to Shakira, but I was like, girl, like when I get stuck, I was like, I think of straight up Pocahontas. Like, you remember that wishing willow or the grandma? So I'm going to get a little personal, but that grandma is my Nana. She's the same freaking lady, the same. And like outside of my mom's like house, like I'm literally living on her ranch, but there's like a big old weeping willow, and I always think of it like that's the same lady, but I change it up a little. I think, okay, I'm the weeping willow now is me. It's not going to be my Nana, and I'm going to be like 150 years freaking old, hella tall, and I'm like a little tiny, like this little person right here, that's me. But this big old person like this, maybe that big, that's going to be me. The 150-year-old woman, all wrinkly and maybe with a cane. I'm going to smack you with a cane, and I'm going to be like, girl, I'm up here. You already been through that. You're going to get through it. So you have to put yourself ahead of time and future and talk yourself like, what would I tell my little self now? What would I tell myself? This is just the moment. Like, I mean, literally, like, okay, what? I'm 30 years old. I don't know, like, the life that we live is just so short and it's so small. So let's make the best out of it, because you never know when it's your last day.
Oh my gosh. I love the analogy you use for that willow tree. It's when I think of the willows with all the branches coming out from it, and there's so much wisdom. Like, imagine those branches are your wisdom branches. Yeah. Those are your connection branches. Those are if somebody needs some help, someone has a question, those are your wisdom branches. And it comes down because, we have to help each other. Mm-hmm. We have to support each other. We, with technology nowadays, there's a lot of people who struggle with technology, and just the way you are so patient about it, and the way you have, that it's almost like you really put it in such a great pattern, like a process, that it's like, I just need to like do this and this and this and this. This is awesome.
Yeah. Let's not overwhelm no one. Like, it's easy and simple.
Yeah. So now that I find you as like someone that I look up to, you know, I'm in my 40s and I look up to you as someone to help me, you know, like, you know, if we're going to talk about something really quick and easy about Instagram, like what quick tip right now can you give to somebody without going on your iPad and stuff and showing us? But like, what would be like a quick way to, okay, let me take this back. Here's my question. So what is that paper flag for? What is the little airplane flag for?
Oh, well, you know that. You
I
said you
never
know
know
that.
what to do with it. I just hit it and it just goes. It just goes poof. And I'm just like, when then I see it back on my screen, I'm like, do I hit it again? I don't know. What do we do?
Oh, like for your stories? Oh, okay. Well, so if I'm getting this straight, so you mean like, for example, if I was to take a picture of our conversation now and then I post it on my story, but the only way you will receive it is if I mention you. So I have to mention you. It's like the A with the circle. You push
Okay.
that, or I think it says mention on there, and then you look for your name. I'm gonna look for you, and then I'm gonna place it wherever I want to. Or if you know, like everyone knows who you are, or if it's about yourself, you hide it on the side. Literally hide it on the side. It's still tagged and attached. But then when you look in your inbox, your DMs, you're gonna be seeing like, wait, what is this? Who took a picture of me? And it's gonna be like, Priscilla took a picture, screenshot, and then it says a big old button under there. They made it easy. It says share to screen. Then you push it and it goes straight to your screen. Then if you'd like, you can write something, or you can tag me, all that good stuff, and then it just lands there, and add music if you want to make it cool, or add just a lot of stuff on there. Some confetti, all that good little tips.
See, those are the things that, you know, for me who doesn't really know how to use Instagram and all the buttons, and I feel like they add something or something changes or something like that, I'm just like, wait a minute, I was able to do that before. Now I can't do that. What's going on? You know, and I just love the way that you explain it. So I think that's very helpful for people to understand, you know, like if they're going to use somebody to help build their brand, to help build their company through an Instagram platform, I recommend you. I like tell people about you all the time. So how do people get a hold of you if they are watching this and they're like, you know what, I need an Instagram lesson? How do they get a hold of you?
Inside of Instagram at TechLingo, pretty much tech.lingo.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Do you have anything coming up? Do you have any other courses that are coming down the pipeline? What do you have going on?
I do. I think it's been out for a week now, but I was thinking too, I was like, okay, I need to like do something new now. And you always have to move with what's going on in your niche. So Reels is the thing that's really going to get your Instagram page out there. So this is like another level of advertisement, but funner.
Oh.
So yeah, so you know how we have posts, or if it's a post with like a video, but it's still considered a post, like that's for your community. Okay. So what I was thinking, I was like, you know what, like I'm seeing a lot of women that have me, and I'm gonna offer and give back to my community with a free, and this is like I'm doing like a lot. This is more than just like a one-on-one. I've already helped like 3 women, and pretty much what you're gonna get out of this, I'm gonna teach you how to create a reel. But it's not only like, oh, you're gonna do this and stand here and like, no, none of that. It's literally a whole breakdown of what your business needs to make Instagram like good. I'm talking about like content pillars, like a lot of additional goodies that you obviously need to know to build up your stuff. And I thought, you know what, like I think this is good to give, and I'm gonna do a presentation mode. So after I go and do the whole one-on-one, it's like 30 pages that they're learning. So imagine like in those 30 pages what you're gonna learn. I'm gonna teach you all the hooks, what to say for each reel. They're going to learn that, and I'm going to ask them 5 questions. These 5 questions are like main because that's what's going to build your reels. So pretty much when we're done with the one-on-one guide on creating a reel, the last page, I tell you, okay, like this is all for you. You get to keep this. So I either send you a link, or you could even scan the phone on the screen. I have a QR code, and then they keep it on their end. And then right below that, there's mini courses attached. And the mini courses is number one thing that I will need from you is one specific type of struggle or something specifically that you want to learn about, like how to create a reel. Like I'm going to teach you in the back end now what my favorite app is, InShot. So I'm going to teach you how to do it on there. And you can keep this mini course forever. From time to time, there's going to be more videos. And it's not only in your niche, it's going to be like in other people's niches. So you're going to learn how to like do transitions. If they don't want to learn transitions on a special request, there's different type of little things that people each want to learn. So that I thought was like, you know, why not? Like it's always good to do that.
Wow. That's value right there. You know, that is a valuable course right there. So you guys, if you guys are watching this right now, I will make sure to put how you can get a hold of Priscilla through Instagram, and any other contact information that she wants to share so you guys can get a hold of her. I'll put her speaker tile on the Strong and Mighty page along with contact information, because she is very valuable, not only as a person, but she will help you. She will help you build yourself up and understand that your Instagram, even, you know, hey, we got to go with the flow. Technology is going to, you know, technology is going by real fast. And I don't know, I can't remember who I was talking to earlier. Technology is going so fast, but here we are like trying to catch up. You know, technology is here already, like gone. And we're like, I'm coming. I'm putting on my shoes. Hold on. I'm coming. I'm going to catch up to you. And you know, we don't want to be left behind, but we also don't want to miss an opportunity that a great Instagram platform and a great Instagram coach can help you with. So I want to make sure that we get your, Priscilla, I want to make sure we get your contact information for people so they can find you and ask you questions about building a platform and building themselves up, you know, as someone who can use their platform as their business.
Yeah, exactly. Even if you're selling bracelets, even if you're selling like stickers, like you can create a website on Canva. If you have the pro though, if you have, it's like $8 a month, but if you got the pro, you can create like hundreds of websites. Just
girl,
for $8.
I learned.
Yeah,
I learned.
Yeah, it's, and if you don't want, or I mean, if you want to have the www dot your name, Bitly has that too. So I mean, there's always different routes to take, but I mean, if anything's possible. And I did want to mention that I am gonna be doing. This is just a little sneak peek. You heard it from me. So I'm gonna be doing what is called. I think it's called like AR filters. You know the filters on Instagram. Well, they're like there's like a certain name for it, but I'm gonna be doing those pretty soon for the tech lingo, and I will be adding like services for reels if you ever need help. I have that, and I'm gonna be learning how to do the AR filters, so that way your company or your brand, you will have your own filter button. So then if someone ever wants to use that filter, it can represent you and you'll get mentioned when they use it. So it's like another way of advertising.
Yes. I love your services. I'm so glad that I asked you to hop on here on the Stand Up Strike Summit, because really, again, building the connection with people, building a almost like a directory of resources that honestly, when I started my journey last year, I didn't know. You know, I didn't know that Instagram, I thought Instagram was just, you know, you post stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
like a, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that there was that portion of Instagram that you can use to build your brand, to build who you are as a business person. You know, I did not know that. And now I'm learning. And again, you've become another resource for me. And now everyone who's watching and everyone who is coming onto the Standing in Strength Summit knows that there is another resource that they can tap into and ask questions about. So,
Yeah.
wow. Well, thank you so much, Priscilla.
Thank you.
There's so many other questions I want to ask, but it's not like, standing in strength stuff. It's more like what button.
What did you say?
It's like more of the other buttons. I'm like, what does this button do? What does this button do?
Yeah. Well, we need to get on the call, and I will teach you this button.
Well, Priscilla, thank you so much for hopping on the Standing in Strength Summit. Your information was very valuable and very helpful for not just only me, but for other people who are listening. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be people like asking you for more information. So everybody, her contact information will be on the Strong and Mighty page. So go ahead and read more about her on her speaker tile and get in contact with her for any of your Instagram needs. So Priscilla, thank you so much. You have helped me so much, and I'm pretty sure you are going to help so many other people as well.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we will connect soon.
Oh, I know. We will. I'll hit you up after this.
I know. All right. I will talk to you later.
Okay. Before you go.
Before
you go, you have to smile because I'm going to screenshot this.
Oh.
Okay, ready? Pose.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. All right, I got it. Thank you. My daughter has
and
my
then
phone,
she's gonna tag me, and then she's gonna tag me, and then I'm gonna have to use a little airplane thing, and then I'm just gonna okay, I think that's all I have to do. Okay. All right, girl. Thank you so much. You have a great afternoon.
You too. Thank you for this. Appreciate you.
Sure. Bye. Guys, I have to say I was so thankful and grateful for Priscilla hopping on, but I'm also like thankful and grateful for all the speakers that have hopped on since yesterday on the Standing in Strength Summit, because there is so much value in this summit. There's so much value in the conversation that I'm having with all these speakers to help you in your business, to help you become the strongest version of yourself, whether it be mentorship, leadership, entrepreneurship, networking, health and wellness, fitness, anything that you feel like you need a resource on, that is really the purpose of the Standing in Strength Summit. And I'm just so excited to have that and give that to all of you listeners, all you watchers, even the replay. There is just so much to have to watch and like listen to on this summit. So this day today was just amazing. We got to listen to Heidi Donnell this morning, Sue Winsberry this morning. And even though no one could hear Issa's conversation with us, with me this morning, her recording is on the Strong and Mighty page. So go ahead and hop on there and listen to that conversation, because that was a great conversation with her as well. The conversation with Ray and with Debbie, the value that they bring was amazing as well. And today, this afternoon with the second session here, even though Dawn Bates couldn't make it live, I was able to pre-record a interview talk with her to add more value onto the summit. And it was prioritizing yourself, making sure that you understand that you are a priority. You should make yourself a priority, and balancing that out with understanding that you have the choice. You have these choices to build yourself up. And Carmel Jean-Francois, the energy that we have when it comes to health and wellness and fitness is just amazing. So all the speakers that have been on today, all their contact information will be available on the Strong and Mighty page. It will be there. Connect with all of them. There's just too much value out there too many people to connect with, that, you know, this is just a taste. When the Standing in Strength Summit number 3 comes out in October, there will be more resources. There will be more people to connect with in that time. You know, we got to build this community, Standing in Strength, and Strong and Mighty company as well. So you guys have, I need to rest my voice. I have one more day for this. I got to rest my voice. So you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you guys here for the last day of the Standing in Strength Summit tomorrow, Saturday, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And remember, I will be launching the Women's Strength Initiative that is, I guess you could call it another COVID baby for me, because this is something that I've been thinking about since last year, and these resources, and to provide access to women to make sure that they are living the strongest and most powerful version of themselves. And this Women's Strength Initiative definitely gives access to that. So you guys have a wonderful evening. If you are looking into joining me in October, please let me know. You could email me at larnie.mulvey@gmail.com. I will make sure to put that in the Strong and Mighty page if you guys are interested, because I would love to have you. And whew, my voice is going out already. And you guys have a wonderful evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.